Welcome, Atlanta United family, to another episode of Resurge The Spike ATL. Here with our co-host James. You can follow
Oh,
him at ATLUTD James on Twitter. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Fila Sports Podcast if you have not yet subscribed. You could also follow technically like my personal account on Twitter, Resurge Spike ATL, for more content on Atlanta United, MLS, and just overall the major news and worldwide soccer. So we played against New York City at Yankee Stadium this past weekend. Uh, Tough game, going to a smaller pitch than technically what everybody else is accustomed to in MLS. Still very good result. I think, given the fact that you were technically down a man for the majority of the second half, so a point, you you went up a goal and still, managed to walk out with a draw. You could have easily, honestly, lost that game. So
yeah. It was good. I mean, it's what everyone's saying. It's the resilience, the fight from the team. Immediately scoring 5 minutes after Ibarra gets sent off, and a lot of storylines, a lot of chances that should have been put away. But I mean, overall, it's a performance this team wouldn't put together in the past couple of years that they would not be able to respond with all of that. A lot of interesting things happen. I don't know. There's a lot of topics. Uh, it was overall a good game, good draw.
yeah, it seems like there's more stories coming out of the game afterwards than actually in the game. There were
Sure. Yeah.
technically stuff coming out afterwards, but
Mhm.
you know, I think the major one out of all of this is, the fact that you lost Brad Guzan for a good majority of the season. I mean,
Mhm.
talking about basically 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really seen enough from Quint Westberg to really know if he's
Mhm.
actually up there but we're gonna see against Toronto. His what it was actually his ex team, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Last few
Yeah.
years.
That's what do you think? I mean, you think that I mean Brad is really gonna be that missing piece, or technically we have more missing pieces next game, but
I mean, he could be. It's not like Brad blew us away. He had a clean sheet against New York, though. That was New Jersey. But I think Westberg is just Guzan. He's just gonna be just like Guzan. The big complaints have been about his ability for long shots, his reactions. I feel like you're gonna get the same from Westberg. It's not to the extent of Bobby Shuttler for sure.
yeah.
So that should be good. And yeah, Brad's obviously leader, and I'm sure Westberg has years and years of experience. He's definitely a, a player you want at keeper. He should
Yeah.
be good.
Um, one thing that I have heard from the guys that are actually there in the training field though is that
Mhm.
Clint Westward is actually like tries to actually really get on top of people, in the box and stuff like that. I mean, Brad's also that sort of guy,
Yeah.
obviously. I mean, that's somewhat that leadership. But yeah, I mean, obviously you haven't had guys like Parada and obviously Westford, have like that, that time together. And obviously, I think that sort of takes time. Given if it actually goes to, they actually do play well together, like the defense and, it's just everything is in sync. Like, it's like you said, it's like you basically are not, you don't notice that there was a change in that position.
Yeah.
Um, but that's a possibility, or it might be the fact that we have to kind of give it a game or two where
Mhm.
they're able to settle down. But I mean, we'll see against Toronto, man. And I think this we talked about earlier this season, Columbus was probably like that test so far that, given the fact that you had 6, 7 players go to international duty, but now you have three big missing players. Also, another one who's going to be out day to day is
Mhm.
Thiago Almada. His, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't really mention what his issue was, right?
I think it was ankle, something like that. I watched back today, and he got a little knocked up in like 70th, something like that. And then later in the game, he got knocked again, and I think it's ankle. I don't know. It's something with his leg. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's probably more like like a small knock, nothing serious.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if he doesn't play Saturday, it's all good. But it
Yeah.
happens. But I think he'll be okay. But let's go back to New York. What do you think of Derek Etienne so far, starting at left wing since Gutman's been out? What do you think?
Hasn't really impressed me, honestly. I mean, there's been a
Mhm.
couple of times where I think that there's been plays where he hasn't really made the best out of those opportunities that he's had. I mean, and it seems kind of harsh, that we're
Yeah.
comparing those sort of players, but like it seems like the same way with Araujo. Sometimes like he just either takes a extra touch or runs into the area where you're kind of you're the defenders are gonna or is easier for the defenders basically to kind of space you out from that dangerous area, but I
Hmm.
don't think that he's nothing great, honestly, to what we were
Yeah.
kind of expecting. I think we
Sure.
kind of set our expectations a little high. I know I sure did because I was expecting him to, just come in and just be a killer on that left wing. But I
Mhm.
don't know. I think if just his first touch, I think in some plays were just misplaced, and that kind of cost that play to just die off, basically.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed his defensive work. That's what I've really liked, his
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
recovery.
I mean, the work rate, yeah, you can't really complain about that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just, I think, on offense, I definitely sure expected a little more on his part.
I didn't know he got an assist in the Portland game. I don't. Oh, to Almada, yeah. But I mean, I was just looking because I don't think he's had a shot yet this season, if I am correct. I'm not sure though. I have to do. No, he has not had a shot yet this season. He got an assist. I just feel like in the attacking end, it's obviously lacking. He's more. I think he's more of a complete winger, and the defensive work is great. It's very helpful for Caleb Wiley, who's obviously not the best left back in the world. It's
Yeah,
helpful, but it's when you say that, and then Arujo still is playing well, but they're both wingers seem to not be doing much on the attacking end. It's more through the middle. It's more through Brooks Lennon with crosses. It's more that, and
yeah,
it's it's
it's sort of
interesting.
like you expect, yeah, like you say, your wingers are technically supposed to be like that dangerous threat, like that
Yeah.
last dangerous threat, but you don't really see that from
No.
either guy. I mean, like you say, it's either Brooks Lennon, Wiley, Almada. Those are the guys that are usually, kind of playing that last ball,
Hmm.
into Yakamaka's, which we haven't even mentioned, when he was the one that got that goal this past weekend. Man is averaging a goal every game that he starts. I mean, not bad. I mean,
No.
compared to what we had as a striker this past
Yeah.
2 years, I mean, it's not bad, man.
He's great so far, and you can only see the goals continue to roll, and he's the exact type of player we need. That was the perfect example of a second ball, and that was lucky. That was the crap New York pitch that made the ball somehow stay in, and then Almada got a second look, and Sosa would have scored that too. They were both on top of it, which was great. Um, right. Yeah, interesting game. It's it's still the same.
Ah!
Yeah, I have the game on behind me, if you're wondering. This is probably my what? fourth Hawks game I'm watching this season. I've been a good fan. I've I've not watched them at all. I'm sorry. I've
um,
been to a couple games this year, but
that's something, man.
I'm locked in on the playoffs.
Actually, yeah, I think. Well, I only watch the games that are on TNT. Obviously, I mean they're
Yeah,
nationally televised.
I don't
But
even watch
otherwise,
those.
no, I'm
I
not
don't even
watching.
watch those. So, but they're up big right now. I think it's 15 now, 16. So, oh, yeah.
Well,
But
yeah,
I mean,
man. This
with
is the thing. I mean, we were just talking about, or I just mentioned about that. Toronto being like that next big game that's really gonna test. Uh, and I think the biggest thing, I mean, probably not so much if Guzan is not there, is if Almada's not there, who's gonna be that creator in the middle? And that's
mhm,
what we so much like that last game where he wasn't there against Columbus. That's the biggest question. I mean, if he's not there, I mean, and that's gonna be the biggest question. I mean, if he does end up leaving this summer, and there's
yeah,
so there's rumors here and there, floating around on Twitter. Marseille
sure.
is, like the big team that wants
Mhm,
him apparently, or like the one that are more interested in him apparently. So there's a
yeah.
lot in the air, a lot that could happen between here and July. So,
And when you're at that point with Atlanta, you can't get, a big DP if they're not under 22. So you're kind of stuck in that situation again, which I personally think we should get a U22 DP in the summer if it happens, because I still believe in the system. I don't think we've missed on a U22 DP, which is, or DP at the number 10 position. I don't think we've missed. People would argue that, but I think Barco and Pity Martinez respectively were very good players. But I
yeah,
I
Barco
think
didn't actually get his time until like the last year or so.
yeah,
Like
he was
like
so good in 21,
yeah,
and we just had to let him go for Thiago, which was fair.
the
But
goat.
he is still
Oh,
available.
break.
I mean, I would love to see Breck Shea play Cam for a game. Like, I don't know. He definitely doesn't have the fitness for any position, regardless. But I would love to see him back. I would rather have him here than Ronald Hernandez. You know, but fair play.
Fair, fair
Because
point.
it's just the name, isn't it?
No, I
But
mean, yeah, Ronald doesn't really. I mean, he hasn't actually barely played, gotten any minutes this season,
I
honestly.
yeah, he must not be that great. I don't know. I love the guy, but he must. I mean, we've seen it too in the preseason. I don't.
Even with Luis Abraham, I mean, the fact that, I mean, they were just
Yeah,
barely giving him any minutes, man. I
that's
mean,
true.
it's kind of weird, man.
They,
You would
they,
expect the guy, I mean, if he's, you know, international player, you would
hmm
expect them, hey, you at least got to stay in some physical shape if that was
yeah.
the reason why, because he hadn't played since last October and all this, but
hmm
I mean, the guy goes and goes and starts against Germany, gets cooked, and then everybody's clowning him. But I mean,
Oh,
partially, the coach is at fault if they are actually
true.
starting him, and he's not up there to that. And I mean, obviously, the ones that are actually seeing how he does is the guys that he's with, obviously every day in
Yeah.
Atlanta United. So for some reason, I mean,
Mm,
obviously Parada's still been, good so far. Miles, obviously, he's been great. So
mhm.
I don't
I
see why they would, change or try to change the tactical tactics. It just
mhm.
doesn't make sense.
It must
But
be something in training. I mean, with Ronald, because I feel like Chol has earned his minutes. I feel like Pineda is a guy who will put you in the game if you earned your minutes in the
yeah,
week. So I'm confused, but we'll see him what 2 weeks from tomorrow in the Open Cup. We'll see him then. That'll be a good test against
yeah.
I
Oh
don't
yeah, I
know,
don't think we've actually
Memphis.
mentioned that. We haven't mentioned. Oh, and I
No,
forgot to put up. Yeah, for U.S. Open Cup, in the
Mhm.
third round, Atlanta United will be facing Memphis
Memphis
901, right?
901. Yeah, Bill
Yeah,
Hamid. It should be a good one.
yeah.
I would like another 6-0 like Chattanooga last year. But that
Still,
it's a little bit tougher when you go from NISA to USL Championship, but
yeah,
it should be a nice win in home crowd at KSU, so that should be good.
yeah. That's the other thing, that it's gonna be played in Atlanta. So
hmm Shock, I will
should
be
be.
there. Wow, I've never been at a game before, right? But yeah.
Weren't you at the game last week for the Yankees?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, because I'm pretty sure he mentioned on the, that he wasn't going. This was probably the first game that he wasn't gonna go to, and then you sent a freaking picture out of that you're there. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
was there,
damn.
yeah. Hey man, I don't it was
Yeah,
good
well,
time,
I'm
man.
gonna be there at that game, man, for against
Chicago.
Chicago in 2 weeks. So
Hey,
I'm
that's gonna
so ready
be
for that, dude.
a
Oh,
4-0 huge
yeah,
victory.
I'm
It's gonna be
definitely
good.
expecting some goals that game.
It should be good. Everyone will be ready. I'm excited for that one too. It's a nice Sunday, 4:30. That'll
Yeah,
be good.
good time
Yeah,
and
true.
everything.
Stephen Glass is in Memphis. I didn't even know that until the draw happened. That should be
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Man, this would be the type of game to lose, but I think we're good. Not,
Nah.
hopefully we get to see Eric Lopez back up top for that game. Unironically,
You
I would
really
like.
think so?
No, it will be Barry, but it would be nice to have Lopez out there.
See, I
I
think,
love that
like,
guy.
if I think, I don't know. I'm not gonna say last year, they didn't took it serious. I mean,
I mean,
lost.
Dom Dwyer had at least embraced that game last year.
Yeah,
Dom
but
Dwyer was good. Like he was a good striker. I think
yeah, but to
you'll
what
see a
I'm
couple.
what I'm saying is, like, I think that they're gonna put a lot of emphasis into U.S. Open Cup.
True.
I mean, this is one of those, like, I guess, quote unquote, the easiest path, to
hmm
CONCACAF Champions League. Other one is
Yeah.
what, Leagues Cup, MLS Cup,
Yeah, we
Supporter
got Leagues
Shield.
Cup this year. That's ours. Our group is very favorable, as what I've seen from Miami and Cruz Azul this year.
Yeah,
Should be
Miami has been. I'm surprised they
what is
still
five
got Phil
straight
Neville there.
losses, something like that.
Yeah, no, they
Oof.
lost. They won the first 2 games, and then they, like, lost, like,
Yeah,
what,
five
four?
straight.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah. I mean, we should. I think we should win top that group, but it's obviously difficult, because who knows how we're gonna approach that. But I mean, I think you can get away with beating this side with, you know, with your entire bench on the field. You can put Ronald Hernandez in. You can, leave probably a center back. Like that's all you need. You have so many good enough center mids to rotate in, and it should be a nice, easy game. But we don't have that Almada sub though. We still don't have that yet.
yeah.
But
That's the biggest question mark so far.
I think
And speaking of the midfield, man, we
yeah.
haven't mentioned about the fact that Franco Ibarra, he got
Mm.
a red card, and this man, I think that it wasn't anything malicious, personally.
Oh,
From the
never, never.
beginning, like, you just, I mean, like, I personally, when I saw it live, on
Mhm.
TV, I'm like, that didn't look like for a red card for either one. But
No,
then the fact that VAR came in and all this, and I mean, I what they gave the other New York player a yellow
nothing,
card. And I
nothing.
was like, for me, I was like,
Yeah,
both of them should have gotten a yellow. I thought, because for the same thing. I mean, they just. But then they obviously reviewed it and then went to VAR, and I mean, he ends up overturning his
yeah,
decision, taking the yellow away and giving a red to Ibarra. Now, I mean, obviously it wasn't nothing serious. Otherwise, they
hmm
would have gave him 2, 3 games, added to that one. But
yeah.
uh,
It's
Sosa or Rosetto?
we might see both of them, honestly, but I think Sosa definitely deserves a 90, and he gets his opportunity. So good for him. But they still haven't released the disciplinary summary for this week, so we'll wait and see. But it should be one game, right? So
Yeah, I mean, if Oth- I mean, otherwise, I think they would have mentioned something like something about it today.
Yeah,
Today was media day, so I would
it's probably one.
assume.
They should have asked somebody, do the real work.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. It should be one, and I think Sosa deserves it. A lot of people are leaning towards Rossetto over Sadic. I still think Sadic should start, but that's fine. They're both.
Spadish, man, the minutes that he's gotten this far so far this season, man, he's looked solid. So
He's been all right. Yeah, obviously Columbus was a stinker. Obviously
yeah,
this New York game,
nobody. I mean, everybody. It's like they
yeah,
weren't even playing there.
it's tough to judge this New York game as well as a center mid, but I don't know. I think he should stick with him. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see Sosa get 90 by himself without trying the double pivot again. But I think he'll fill in just fine. But it's still a tough game, regardless, away from home. So
Yeah,
not
Toronto's
sure.
never an easy one, man.
Nope. Arujo scored 2 times in a row in Toronto, so I think that's wrong, but it might be right. I don't know. I
Didn't
know he scored
wasn't
twice.
Moreno the one that scored
Moreno
last
did
year?
score, yeah, in
I
2021.
I
He
still
scored
remember because that
he
was
sealed
somewhat
it.
of an early game last year.
Yeah, he sealed that one. I remember that was a great goal.
Yeah.
I think Araujo scored twice against Toronto at BMO. I don't know. I I think so. I know he did last year because that was goal of the week. Yeah, at Toronto. We lost 2-1, but that was goal of the week.
Toronto. Yeah.
And then yeah, he scored 2 straight against Toronto. And then he scored at the home game too. And then he missed a penalty at the home game versus Toronto last year as well. So I mean, it's his team, man. I definitely want to see something from him, but
Yeah.
I feel like the game's got to come to him, and just it hasn't been that way, and he's been shooting the ball less. It's great, and I just feel like it's a whole different team for Pineda. I feel like what we're trying to do, especially in these away games, these tough ones. But now you're playing on a normal pitch in Toronto. It's probably going to be cold as heck. I got to check that, but he got to be ready. Yeah, it's going to be 50. That's not too
That's
bad.
not too bad.
50 and humid, but
The biggest thing for me is Araujo. Sometimes I feel like he knows that he has that weight. Given the fact that probably some of the big names are not there.
yeah,
And it
it's the
kind of
price
gets to
tag.
him. I think, yeah, I think it comes down to like that mental aspect. Like he's just not used to that pressure, man. I mean, he's never really been the guy to like carry a team to that certain degree where they rely on him for goals, every game or
Yeah,
even assist.
it's
So
it's the price tag. That's what at least the fans. I don't know if he sees that
yeah,
pressure,
and that's the big
but
question mark,
like
with
every time, like Arvidson's a great player. He's been very good this season, but when he doesn't score, doesn't assist, it's price tag. He's not putting up the numbers because those are the numbers you look at the end of the day, and he's
But
not putting them up.
the thing for me is like it seems like when he's actually having a good game, obviously it show either this is the thing, either he has like a good game or it's
Hmm.
just a terrible game where he's mm, uh having bad touches, misplacing passes, bad shooting. But when he's actually, in that mental aspect where yeah, he's sharp, in his game,
Yeah,
then it's a different player. But yeah, man, I don't. It's like on and off with him at times, and
yeah, it's difficult. I
that's
don't
you.
think, at least
It
last week, I think I've watched 20 minutes of the game seriously. I had a good view, but when I'm at the game, I'm not locked in. But I don't think there's a moment where you have the usual where you just yell at him for doing something stupid. I don't I don't remember that, and I
yeah,
don't even remember his 2 shots. I don't remember what happened with that, but I mean, one chance I look back on today was the Yakimakis one off the free kick in like the 12th minute, where he had like the slide tackle shot and he just boofed it wide. That was a tough one.
Yeah, there was a couple of chances. Matter of fact, that in the first half, there was even one where I think Almada like hit a through ball to Brooks
Hmm.
Lennon, I believe, or
Yeah.
somebody on the right wing, and they ended up like cutting it, to the middle. But like Yakimakis kind of like ended up going a little too far, or like the pass was too far back, and obviously he wasn't able to, get back to it on time. But there was a couple opportunities that I think that if maybe they're in like mid-season form, this team's definitely bagging those goals.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, the Hawks are up 23 right now. I don't even know. I don't
Jesus
understand.
Christ, damn, really?
They were supposed to get smacked today. They're playing great basketball. But yeah, it should be good. Let's you know what, let's have fun. There was just a report that came out about LA Galaxy president or CEO something, and he says that he will be leaving if they don't make the playoffs. Klein, the one who started all the protests and the fans
Yeah,
aren't
Chris
showing up.
Klein, I think Klein. Yeah.
I think I don't know how they'll feel about that because I don't know if they'll start showing up again because of that. I think that's what the play is. I mean, I would. But by the way, the Galaxy are sitting 13th with 3 points, 0 wins.
This is the thing. I'm pretty sure the ones that are actually keeping up with MLS, have seen like everything that has happened. This past weekend in the game, the LA Galaxy. Douglas Costa, he got a second yellow because literally just stupid stuff, and
Hmm.
uh Martin Cáceres, Uruguayan international as
Yeah.
well. I mean, a guy that's played many World Cups, has played Champions League ball. I mean, talking about an experienced guy. And he does the stupidity of going
VAR.
over to the referee when he's checking the call and, telling him God knows why. I mean, it's just dumb. I mean,
So
it's
stupid.
just, it seems like just like the team, all the entire team itself is just not there right now. Like, it's not a team from the front office all the way down to the players on the pitch. It's just
Yeah, and now
not
they're
there.
without Douglas Costa and as you mentioned, Caceres, and they have LAFC this weekend, so that should be fun.
Yeah, two
That should end
two
up
two
going well.
big games. Honestly, this well, technically three if you're counting Atlanta United and Toronto.
Yeah, there's
But
some good games.
the other one, Seattle against Portland, the Cascadia
Oh
Cup
yeah,
or whatever it's called. That's another good game. Keep an eye on.
LFC they play tonight against Vancouver as well. But does Douglas Costa have a goal for LA Galaxy? Oh, he is two.
I
Okay,
don't
never
think
mind.
he does.
He's got two or maybe
Not this
four.
season though, does he?
No, not this year. That's that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's a train wreck.
That's the
But
difference that it makes, having expensive DPs and all that, even
mhm.
Chicharito. I mean, you could argue that he was good the first year that he was here, but I mean, there was still nothing to show for, like
Yeah,
a deep playoff run or anything like that.
I watched them
I mean,
against Portland earlier this year, and they played really well. I thought they were good. Puig was obviously their best player. I like him, but they haven't done much. And yeah, Klein. I feel like at that point it's hard because I don't know the details. I don't know everything. Like I would just leave now, but
yeah, because literally you're just waiting until situation like
because you're not gonna make the
you're
playoffs.
gonna break more relationships within the team that are already broken.
And yeah, the fact that you put out this email too, I
Yeah.
mean that's the whole organization involved, and now everyone knows, and it's
And
embarrassing.
this is the thing though, that the fans know it, and the fans have obviously made their voices heard, throughout the games, doing their protests and all this, and
Hmm.
nobody other than the fans know what's best for the team, honestly.
Yeah.
Because regardless of it, the teams want the team to win. They want, the team to be successful, the
Mm-hmm.
stadiums to be packed. Obviously, you're talking about the most successful team in MLS, honestly, and they have
Yep.
honestly been complete garbage since they last won MLS Cup,
Since
like
Donovan, since
2014. You're talking
freaking
about almost 10
Donovan,
years ago.
they had Robbie Keane and Donovan. They ran the entire league, and I just don't understand what's preventing them from being as good as LAFC. They obviously have less resources in terms of money, but it's still LA. It's still LA Galaxy. Like, you
I
know.
actually heard, like, the people that actually own LA Galaxy actually are like one of the richest
Mhm.
investors, or when it comes to like owners in sports.
I feel like there's
They
still
probably, yeah, they probably don't have as much, or of that as that pool, as probably LAFC does
yeah.
now. But that's the thing, that something has obviously changed within the team, because yeah, before you had, guys like Beckham, uh, Robbie Keane, obviously Donovan, he left, and even so he still came back to them, and it was obviously something that made players attracted to go playing there rather than going and play to LAFC, or, well, obviously you're gonna have, teams, like New York City or Inter Miami, but it's definitely something has changed within, the clubs, where now it's just sign Slatan, sign Chicharito,
Yeah.
they kind of gotten stuck with that, quote unquote, mm, like the model that MLS was,
Yeah.
a retirement league. It was,
hmm I was about to say like I think they're still stuck in 1.0 and I feel like that's what's holding them back, which is what's happening.
mm,
But I mean, Puig was obviously a great signing, but not quite panning out yet.
yeah, man. So much for the MVP talk, talking about that
Yeah,
he
that
was on
was
the ball.
crazy. What is he at? I think he's at 0 goals, 0 assists, and I feel like he should have goals from the games I've watched. One got called out for VAR, another he hit like the post once, but yeah, 0 goals, 0 assists. But he's not a player that does that though. I mean, he's more of like an 8 or he wears number 6, but he's not much of a 6, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's just more of like just trying to control the pace in the middle, not really
Mhm.
like that guy that's gonna break lines with a pass, or obviously shoot, from 20 yards out and stuff like that.
It's true.
But, oh man, that's one thing that where Garth honestly has to already keep an eye on that, that amount of replacement.
Yeah, I would be disappointed if we don't do a U22 DP because I feel like that's what we're built on, and you're especially stuck with it now with your existing U22 contract players. You're kind of stuck to make that decision. But I feel like it's one that should be really good. And once you nail these U22s, like LAFC is the team that's going to be mentioned every time, that's when your squad just becomes elite with talent. And I would be really disappointed if we go for a Ladero type player. I don't like that. I want the U22. We will have a U22 DP spot when Almada eventually leaves, which I'm still hoping that is January, but I doubt it. Still hoping. I guess you can get a player on loan maybe for the rest of the year. It's just so disappointing because you're going to be in a title race at that point. You would hope to be in a title race for not only the supporter shield but for more than that. And that's a tough turnaround to ask any player coming in, especially if it's going to be U22, which it still should be. It, it's a sticky situation, but at the end of the day, it's going to be what 30 mil in the bank. So
Bruno's
it's
asking, I
tough.
thought when you sell a DP, you only get
I
100K.
don't even know. That could be right. I don't know. That's what's so stupid about this league. I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, there's probably like very little that we know when it comes to like I'm talking about personally. I
I
mean, I
got a
know
little bit.
some, but trust me,
All I
man.
know is that we can't, if we have, it's either U22 or it's under 1.7 mil, something like that. That's all I know. It could be
Yeah.
that too. I'm not sure because I don't know what happens when you sell one mid-season because that shouldn't happen. God damn it! When you're one of the top teams in the league, that shouldn't happen.
You see,
Please stay, bro.
this
Please.
is the thing, man. This is the thing. Me personally, I mean, I mean, if you are in talks of already, or this is my opinion on how the rules should be. If you're
Yeah.
already in talks, or there's rumors on a player, a DP player
Mm-hmm.
leaving, or getting bids from certain or from teams,
Mm-hmm.
you should automatically be like entitled to like basically have like that DP spot like replaced immediately,
Yeah.
rather than kind of like having to wait, and it's just stupid because regardless it's gonna happen, it's not like
Yeah.
unless you're LAFC and you just pull some stuff up the sleeve. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they do it
They
honestly,
just keep.
but
They just have more and more space, don't they? I don't. I don't
yeah,
get it. Well, maybe it's because they don't give stupid players big contracts. Maybe that's why. But
yeah.
um,
Hopefully, I mean that somewhat has changed. I mean, so far this season, I think I haven't
I
really seen anything crazy.
I think when you're in a spot like we're going to be, I know we're going to be in the summer, one of the top teams. It's like you can't just not replace him. You can't wait. Maybe if you're last in the league and you sell your DP, yeah, maybe. But no way, not over here. That's not the answer.
Yeah.
But it should be interesting.
Well, Toronto this weekend.
Yeah,
Like, man, we have to hit predictions real quick.
sure.
Oh man, this is a tough one, man.
It's tough. It can go anyway.
Yeah,
Um, Go ahead.
man, I'm gonna be optimistic. Like my heart's telling me like we're gonna win,
Hmm.
and my heart's telling me that we're gonna win like 2-0.
Yeah,
But my mind is just with everything, I think it's just gonna be a 1-1 draw.
that's a good guess. I have to say. Um, I'm gonna go 2-0 to Atlanta. Oop, screen move. 2-0 to Atlanta, just like 2021. I like 2-1. 2-0, sorry. 2-0. Um, it's gonna be tough to keep a clean sheet, but I still think, just like when we've already faced Toronto, we're done with Toronto in April, early April, which is crazy. I think we are far better than this team. Toronto's not very good. It shouldn't matter what pitch you're playing on. Just go out there and get the win. I'll go 2-0. Westberg
Yeah.
clean sheet is honestly the dumbest. I don't think he's had a clean sheet in like 20 starts, but I'll stick with it.
That's very true, honestly, because yeah,
I'll
I
stick
saw
with it.
somebody share his stats, and the man has actually like
That was
allowed
me.
like a goal per game, basically.
Yeah, it's 0 clean sheets. I don't, but I'll stick with 2-0 because Toronto just aren't good. They're not. They're coming in. I remember their last game. They played Nashville 0-0. Um, they drew Charlotte. But Nashville is horrific. So is Toronto. I'm all right. Michael Bradley's still in the midfield, but Sean Johnson's in net though. I think we're gonna lose. I forgot about Sean
Yeah,
Johnson. That guy is
that's not
ridiculous.
gonna be an easy one to score on, honestly.
Nope. I'll stick with 2-0. 2-0. We got it.
Well, Bruno said 2-1.
Yep.
Hopefully, man. You guys are right. Well, I said 2-0 as well, but I don't know. Something's telling me that this is
Oh,
gonna
you
be
said
one of those.
2-0?
Yeah, I said
I
my
must have.
heart's telling me, like my fan like side is
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
me 2-0, But like
I'll,
realistically, I'm like seeing this as a 1-1.
all right, I'll be real. 3-1. I'll change to 3-1, so we have a chance to get it right. I'll go 3-1.
That's not
But
bad.
you know what we can predict, and it will be guaranteed right that Giacomakis is going to score. That's a pretty easy one nowadays. So
Yeah, I honestly think he should be able to score against Toronto.
I think he can
Just given the
score.
fact that, and I think that if he actually does score against this Toronto, he keeps that run going. He scores against
Hmm.
one of the best keepers in the league.
Like,
He's gonna be a like an animal for the rest of the season.
mhm. I don't think he's going to catch Buanga, but I think he's going to be number 2. He's going to be
Somebody
top
needs to
3.
break his damn foot.
6 goals is crazy, and he scored 2 in the Whitecaps. He's probably going to. They're probably going to play him like 5 minutes tonight, and he's going to score like 3 goals on Vancouver. I'm not staying up for that game. And then the
Yeah,
other game, Violette are down 5-0. So what's the point? I'm tuning in for that
Jesus.
one. Um, let's see that one. Oh, it's actually 2-2 in the first half. So now it's 7-2 on aggregate. But it was a good run from them.
Yeah.
Uh, they made it further than Atlanta did this year. So I mean, I guess that
Well,
they
they
get credit.
weren't in it at all this year.
Exactly, exactly. But I'm excited for Atlas Philadelphia tomorrow. I think Atlas are gonna win. That should be good. I'm very
Yeah.
excited for Atlas.
They got a lot of momentum at home right now, especially given the fact that we freaking turn around like what a 3-1
Hmm.
deficit, like score 4-0
Yeah.
last one. So
Yep. And
yeah,
well, I'm looking at the table. Cruz Azul are 8th, and there's 6 wins, 5 losses, 3 draws. So they're all right.
yeah,
I'm excited for Leagues Cup. It's gonna be a good time, and that's during when the Premier League is coming to Atlanta as well.
yeah. Speaking of that, news came out
Mm.
about that today. The Premier League is heading to Atlanta, so big
I
news to I've pretty much everybody that follows me or I follow them on Twitter is a Premier League fan, whether
Yeah.
as one team or another. But I'm pretty sure though that those games are gonna be a
Hmm.
sellout, especially the second one. For the ones I have not heard, I actually forgot the first game, but
Miggy's
I
coming
know,
home. Brentford, Brighton.
yeah, I know Brighton
Good
was one
matchup.
of them. That game's at what 5:30, I believe.
Yeah, that's on. I don't know when. That's on a Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, it's on both games are on Wednesday,
Oh, it's
but
back-to-back weeks. So they said season ticket holders get like first access to the games.
oh really? Did they say that?
Yeah, and
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna
neat.
those tickets might. I don't know how crazy they're gonna be, but I think they're gonna be crazy. So we'll
Uh,
see. But
uh,
I mean Chelsea, Newcastle. You got a chance to make some good ticket money there. I'll tell you that.
yeah.
But I,
The that third level is definitely gonna be open. I mean, that's no questions asked.
oh yeah, those both games should do 70K. I mean,
Yeah.
Brighton always has really good young talent, so that should be a good one.
But yeah, that second game, honestly, like, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm so tempted to like
Hmm.
go down there.
And the Premier League better have like big bonuses on winning those games or like a trophy or something. So they
No, it's actually like a tournament, like within like the
is there
U.S. that's being
is there
played on.
points and stuff like that? Does
Um,
everyone play each other?
yeah, I'm pretty
Oh
sure
wow,
that's like the whole scenario because is that yeah, it says actually here like
hmm
the summer series, that's what it's called.
yeah,
So yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, I don't know if they're gonna have a trophy and all, but I mean, there's definitely something involved, obviously, with
Hmm.
um, like putting the competitive aspect on it. Sometimes they just come and play random friendlies, but usually those are games like between like Dortmund, PSG, or Bayern, Chelsea, like those sort of games because I've actually gone to some of those into Charlotte,
Hmm. I mean,
but
they don't all play each other, but I think they all play 3 games.
That's the scenario.
So
Okay.
I mean, that's definitely cool. You know, Atlanta are like right in the middle, so it's not gonna be, the crazy games. But I mean, I think they got the two best teams playing against each other.
Who are the other ones that are coming?
It's Aston Villa, Fulham, and I think Aston Villa or Fulham are the only two teams that aren't playing in Atlanta that are in it. I think if Leeds might be in it.
Yeah.
They haven't announced those matches yet, so maybe because Leeds they don't know if they're gonna be in the tournament or not. They might go down. I think they will go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot Leeds.
Uh,
Leeds has to be there.
oh, that's a good question from Bruno. Now we're betting if Pulisic is still in the team when he comes to Atlanta.
Um, I mean, for his sake, I'm not big on. I watch the US 70, but like I'm not crazy about it. I don't think he'll be there. It depends who because Potter's gone, right? And they got Lampard, so they don't even have a new manager yet. So who knows what's the plan for him? But I think he should leave. But I mean, Pulisic, regardless, everyone's there for Miggy. He will be there. Signed a contract extension this year, I think. So excited for
And
that.
it's gonna be interesting too. What names Newcastle's able to bring this offseason. I mean,
Yes,
this
that could
is
be Mbappe debut. They
yeah.
got money.
Like no, I mean we're like realistically. I mean, to the ones that don't know, Newcastle actually got some new owners from Saudi Arabia, right? It's not Qatar.
Yeah,
I believe it's Saudi Arabia.
somewhere. Yeah.
And that oil money is gonna come in real handy for Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me,
They're
they're
get
gonna
they.
be, like literally they're gonna become like the new Manchester City of
Oh
the
yeah,
Premier League, like in the
I
upcoming years. It's not gonna happen obviously overnight because it hasn't happened for Manchester City overnight. Like
yeah.
many of the fans that are newer to it obviously didn't see that face where literally they had just bring in Carlos Tevez, they had Robinho, guys that were somewhat known world stars, but they weren't really a good team. Like,
Hmm.
but uh, with uh, Newcastle, man, it's gonna be interesting what that project's able to
I'm
do in the
they're
long
already
run.
plus they're already good. They've won five straight matches, and they're in third. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's they haven't even started really
I
yet. They
mean they
got
made
Isak.
FA Cup
Yeah,
final
they
against
made the
Manchester
final.
United.
Thank goodness United won that game, but uh
You only saying that because you're a fan of them. Now you know you would have been
yeah.
cheering for Newcastle.
Yeah, but yeah, Newcastle are on fire. They're really good. And I think Almiron will be on the bench for when they win the Champions League in the future. I think that's gonna happen. Like they're good players. I don't know if I want Almada there. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
don't. I personally don't see Almada being a Premier League
thing is
player.
I
Not
would
because he doesn't have the quality. It's just like, or the physical aspect. It's
I
just the
mean
fact that
he's
he's more a finesse player, man. And I think
true.
that and even Marseille, man. I mean, not down in the Premier League. Not the Premier League, but the
I don't
French league.
I
But
don't even watch that league. I probably haven't watched a league match ever, and now I'm gonna have to. I don't even know what
yeah,
streaming
honestly,
service they're
I'm
on.
gonna be realistic. I started watching it because obviously Messi started playing in there. I
Yeah,
didn't even
it's
watch
true.
it when Neymar started playing there, honestly, because I was
Hmm.
just like, you're just a little traitor. You decided to go for the bag.
Fair
But
enough. What what
hey, man,
what streaming service is that even on? I'm gonna have to get that.
I know not being sports. I know that's actually
Yeah.
like the channel that they have it on. But
Hmm.
I know Sling has it.
Yeah.
Um, whichever streaming services have Sling on, or not Sling, being sports on it.
Hmm.
Then yeah, that's where they have League One.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna have to start watching once Almada goes there, I guess.
yeah, it's
So,
gonna be. And this is I don't know, man. I don't remember or I don't recall personally ever seeing this or hearing about this about like future selves. Like for say, if Atlanta or Vancouver, they put like like a certain thing on the contract of Alfonso Davies. If Bayern Munich were to ever sell him, then
Hmm.
Vancouver gets a certain percentage of
Yeah.
sales. I personally don't remember hearing about that. In MLS, but I mean, it will be interesting, man, if they actually do something like that, because if for whatever reason they sell him for a quote unquote low price,
Yeah.
I think that he can eventually end up moving for a bigger price tag if he goes and just knocks it out the ballpark.
I wonder how high that goes though. And I mean,
Like the percentage
or
or
like
what?
how high, at Marseille. No, because that's tough, man. Like, like 50 mil, could you get up there? I don't know.
But this is the thing. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're talking about like big numbers when it comes to like transfer fees, but if there's there's been very like a very small amount of players that have come through MLS, and you could actually see that quality where you could see them even reaching like that a higher ceiling, and just having like just making more money off of it. And I mean, that's something that I mean, just personally, like you usually see that in teams within Europe or even down in
Yeah.
South America. Or I remember actually in from Costa Rica, like Keylor Navas, like he came out of like this, academy down there, and it was just like a real poor, team and everything. And whenever he got transferred from Levante, which were that's where he was playing in Spain, to Real Madrid after the World Cup in 2014.
Yeah.
Um, that school or like that academy in Costa Rica actually got like a percentage from that sell that Real Madrid did, and I was like,
Hmm.
damn, dude, like that's crazy.
That's definitely worth it. And you know what else is worth it? A loan back deal. Nice little, keep.
I loaned back for like 2 years until we actually find like a good enough replacement.
Hmm. Man, should be a good week, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready
See
for
this.
Toronto.
See Bruno knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, if Chelsea sees Almada, they'll pay 150
Yeah,
million.
you know what? Get Bully's number. Get his number. I would take 100 mil real quick. That would be something.
Yeah. But a lot of games, honestly, man, this upcoming or this summer, technically, for in the city of Atlanta,
Hmm.
you have
Should have got
obviously
Gold Cup.
Leagues Cup.
Should have
You
got
have
Gold Cup.
yeah,
That would be great.
yeah, it would have been. Yeah, man, that's one thing that has like really bothered me, the fact that you haven't really gotten any big games in Atlanta like
Yeah.
recently, like international
Hmm.
games.
I think that
Look, and this
it,
is the thing, man. And I know I'm probably gonna sound like like
let's go.
kind of like a has, but look, man, they always bring Mexico to Atlanta, and I get it, man. They're the ones that are gonna sell. They sell out pretty much any stadium in the
Yeah.
U.S. But look, man, you literally are one of the host cities of the World Cup in 2026. You got to start having a little bit more diversity and bring games, that are actually, are gonna attract a different fan base or a different type of soccer itself.
Yeah, I feel like because they're putting in grass for this Premier League thing, I think that's the first step to hopefully. I hope we get Copa America, man.
Well, that would
That
be huge,
that's
dude.
the dream, man. I think we will. That's definitely the dream, but
That
y-
has to be, yeah, like that step, like right before the World Cup, 2 years
yeah,
before the
you
World Cup.
and
I
the fact,
mean, it'll be like, yeah, the big test, like to kind of like measure things out, with the parameter of like actually holding a big international tournament like that.
yeah, and I feel like putting in the grass for the Premier League because I thought that was the hesitancy, and the fact that they're doing that for the Premier League, I think Copa America will make them stop having these random country singer concerts in Mercedes Benz instead of you know big
Yeah,
games. It's whatever.
it should be
But
a good, a good summer here in Atlanta this year. But
mhm.
oh man, that would only make it better next year, Copa America, dude. Either
That,
watching,
that,
imagine
uh,
like Brazil or Argentina,
Oof.
Uruguay,
Real teams.
Colombia, dude.
Yeah,
Ooh,
not the
man.
USA. They're stinky.
But
I want
dude, you
out.
still wouldn't go if like tell me you wouldn't go if it's USA against like Bolivia or
Yeah,
even
I would,
like
I would,
Jamaica or something like that.
No, but I want to see Almada play as number 10 and win Copa America for Argentina, bro. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
'Cause,
They if you're
I
talking
mean,
about like
Messi's gonna
teams.
play. Messi's gonna play in that one, right? You think?
Yeah, you think, I mean, there's actually been rumors going around that, yeah, he's already talked to the managers and, the people in AFA about actually making that run to 2026.
Oof,
Uh,
2026.
God
Oh
knows if he's
man,
actually going to be a starter or not, but
yeah,
honestly, man, I think the dude, regardless of him being
it's
38,
messy.
39.
It's messy.
Dude, Zlatan's still getting called up to the Sweden team. He's 41, 42.
Yeah,
So
that's definitely interesting.
I think it's doable, honestly, for him. I mean,
You can definitely be on the squad, but that's a tough ask. But it's messy, and he's gonna be going back to Barca, right? Maybe.
I don't know, man. Not with all those legal issues,
Hmm.
with too much on the dude. Bruno's God, man. He kills me with these comments sometimes.
I mean, Araujo on the right, Neymar on the left, and you got Richarlison up top. Oof. I mean, imagine Araujo. That like the thought of him wearing a Brazil national team kit, bro. That's so funny. I love the guy, man. I want him to score so badly. This is his favorite team to play against. I want him to score so badly, man. I think he's got it. I hope he scores. I'm rooting for him. If
Yeah, I
I would
mean,
take a loss, if a 5-1 loss, but Araujo scores. I'm taking it.
Jesus Christ.
I want I want him to score. Um,
Damn.
but I'm
Well,
ready.
yeah, honestly, man, uh, I mean, you expect everybody to have a good game, obviously, but I don't usually you're just that guy that, you just kind of like, it kind of seems like it's like that, that pet that you have and you just want to take care of it so badly because, like any little thing that happens to it, like, is going to get aggravated or something.
Yeah.
And it just kind of seems that way with him. Like, you just kind of like got to be like gentle with him.
It's like you got the nice cat, like the nice fluffy cat, and then you got the hairless cat. Like
Yeah.
you got. I love Araujo so much. Please score, bro. I need him to
Yeah.
score.
We need it, man. We honestly, yeah, this is a big game for him to step up, regardless.
Yeah,
It seems like we say that every week,
we
like,
do. We
but
literally say it every week. Everyone says it every week. It's rough.
yeah,
But he's got it. He's got it. I'm
yeah,
ready. We should get the big dub this weekend.
yeah.
And
Well,
oh,
guys,
one more thing. Sorry. You
yeah,
think
go ahead, man.
Miles Robinson will be in the armband, the captain armband this weekend? That's exciting. Even though it does mean a lot, but not that much, him wearing the armband. Or do you think Westberg gets it in his first ever game?
Mm, mm, nah, man. I'll have to say what Miles takes it.
I agree. It should be
I
good.
don't see. Yeah, I don't.
Maybe that'll make him sign the contract, you know. Probably not.
Nah,
We'll
probably
leave it at
not,
that.
but it's worth it.
Please, Araujo, score. I need it. I need it bad.
Yeah. Well, guys, we've hit, the hour mark here, and obviously,
Somehow.
yeah,
Somehow.
basically just,
We talked about LA Galaxy for a little bit. That got us
yeah.
over.
No, I
But
mean, we gotta, obviously hit a little more stuff than we usually do, and only talk
yeah.
about Atlanta so much, obviously, but,
Hmm.
uh, thank you for, Bruno shit. He was technically the one fucking just bombing this chat here.
Yeah, man. Everyone's watching on Twitter. I saw we had like 12 people watching on Twitter, and
Yeah.
they can't comment on there. So, you know,
Yeah.
join on YouTube next time, all of you. I would love you guys in the chat.
Yeah,
But
for
it's
real.
all good as long as people are listening. It's all great. Thank you
Yeah,
so much. It's good stuff. And
yeah.
shout out John Milan, AC Milan tomorrow. Napoli, they got it.
Oof.
It's
Oh
gonna be tough,
man.
but
I
they
was
got it.
not expecting that 3-0 today, dude. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Bayern. I think it was coming. Man City have played really well recently,
Yeah.
but
And
I mean Bayern played really good. It was just a couple mistakes cost them. It should have been like 1-0, 1-1, but
yeah.
you never know what can go on in the next round. The quarterfinals are always the best. So, like I said, both games tomorrow are fantastic. Inter versus Benfica is not going to draw, the big attention, but
Mhm.
still a good game. All right, let's get out of here. Come on.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, follow us at Freedom Sports Podcast. Follow James at ATL UTD James and Resurge
Sir.
Spike ATL, my page on Twitter. So we'll see you guys next week. Let me go ahead and